Previously on a conversation with Claudine Reid.
I'm Claudine Reid. I am a multi-award winning social entrepreneur. I had always wanted to run a business. I wanted to be a business studies teacher. Kind of had a bit of an identity crisis and had a big, massive meltdown. Like, I'm only here because of you, right? That's it. I'm leaving. And this was the defining moment for me. When I asked him if I could reduce my days so I could go to college, he told me no about me. And let me tell you, there have been occasions where I've had people on my payroll who are earning more money than me. I don't only have one source of income. That's the other thing.
When did you make that decision to start paying yourself?
Your business has to be able to sustain your salary. Can the business pay you? You'll know that. If you're the director of the company and you're the only one who has access to the bank accounts, there are occasions where I'm happy to pay myself last. I make sure my staff are paid first because I can manage if I get paid 1, 2, 3 weeks late. But the whole pay yourself first comes in when I've got that money. That's now my salary, if you like. I will then pay myself by putting that money away for my personal private investments.
I know the viewers are going to be running out of paper with all of these nuggets that you're giving, Claudine. This is absolutely fantastic. And with that said, we've spoken about, where you started, transitioning from your teaching, knowing that this wasn't for you and having that intrinsic feeling that drove you to go down the direction that you wanted to go down, to building your business, to having a team. But what about when everything isn't so pretty and things aren't going so well? How do you deal with the downs and the lows, and how do you bounce back? Do you have a method for that? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, again, these are such rich questions, and I think every entrepreneur, every business owner at some stage of their life is going to have a down moment. I remember Patrick and I were going to see our bank manager. We were convinced that he was going to shut the book at us, throw the book at us. We were walking down the high street towards the bank, like holding hands, like praying, please God, please. We laugh about it now. At the time, it was not funny. But there's an internal motivation that says the very thing that I'm doing is not about me. It's for the bigger picture. And surrounding yourselves with other successful people who have achieved bigger, better, far more than I could ever think, dream, or imagine, I always find that motivational. Not their successes, but I find their failures or their down moments helpful, because I believe that you learn more from somebody's failures than from their successes.
Yes.
So I have a mastermind group. I also have other business mentors whose businesses are doing head and shoulders above mine. And that also keeps you grounded and humble. If you ever think, I've arrived, actually you haven't. I wouldn't necessarily say, well, I do have a methodology. I use the acronym SAVERS. So SAVERS stands for silence or prayer. I generally spend a significant amount of time in silence and in prayer over my business, over my own personal development as it relates to my business. The A stands for affirmations. I believe in affirmations, and I believe that you embrace what you want to become. I also do visualization. I have to be able to see it before I can embrace it. So I spend the first hour of my day, every day, 5 days a week, is spent in silence, affirmations, visualization. E, exercise. You know this.
I know this one.
The R is writing, and then the S is scribing. I write in my journal. That's my personal methodology for helping to pick myself up, because I recognize failures are part of the process. I'm not the type of person who gets stuck on any poor situation. I've had health challenges. I've had business circumstances that, are not favorable. But my disposition is always dust yourself off, reapply your mascara, and go again.
I think that's brilliant. And I know that there's a lot of people who do struggle with having good positive routines and committing, which is what you've mentioned earlier. What I want to find out is, we know that in order for us to progress, we have to leave our comforts. We have to leave sometimes a few comforts in order for us to seek adventure and growth. If there's one comfort that you've left behind, what was that comfort? And leaving that behind, how did it help you to propel?
Oh, the comfort of being a people pleaser.
Oh,
and
yes.
doing things because ego says, if I do this, everybody will love it, or everybody will like it, or everybody will love me. Leaving that behind in order to pursue a bigger dream, a bigger goal that nobody has any idea what you are talking about, caused me to grow.
Amazing.
Caused me to become a bigger, better version of myself. Leaving my comfort zone of having people speak to my ego meant that I had to develop my levels of humility, because now I have to position myself as a life learner, as a student of life. And now in so doing, I'm able to leverage more opportunities. I'm able to leverage bigger opportunities. I'm able to do things that I didn't think I would be able to do, because I'm hanging on to the words of those people who are massaging my ego. But actually that's not my desire. I'm not looking for validation from anybody. But there is sometimes that tension in your mind that could say, if you do this, people won't like you, or they won't believe you, or I'm not looking for belief from those people, because I've already done a feasibility study on my business. I already know where my potential market is. I already know that I have the capacity to do more.
It's not always an easy thing to do. My head is literally like blowing with so many things to ask you, Claudine. But one of the things that I do want to know is you have got an MBE. You are royal. You are royal. Can you tell us the story of your royalty and how you got your MBE?
Okay. So in around, I think probably 2005, I think, is when I started advising the Cabinet Office, social enterprise issues. And around that time, the government wanted to raise the profile of social enterprise to the UK and to Europe, to the wider community. And so I applied for a post, and I was selected, myself and 30 Cabinet Office social enterprise ambassadors. And our role was to go across the country, raising the profile of social enterprises and speaking to people. I think now in 2020, there are just over 66,000 social enterprises in the UK, contributing over 27 billion to the economy. I remember receiving a letter to my office telling me that my name had been nominated to the Queen to receive an investiture and to be made a member of the British Empire. Well, of course, I thought it was a hoax, right? I thought somebody got the letterhead from Downing Street and had sent me this stuff, because you have to be on an embargo for 6 months. I thought, it's a joke. So I folded up the letter and put it in my drawer, until 6 months later, I get the official notification, like, oh my gosh. So I received the investiture, the member of the British Empire, for services to social enterprise in 2008. It was a fabulous honour, because I was working. I wasn't looking for an award. I wasn't looking for a showcase. I was doing what I enjoyed. But the privilege of being able to take my mum, my husband, and my 2 kids, who were absolutely furious, by the way, that they got an invitation to go to Buckingham Palace, because it meant they missed their Christmas dinner at school. And Christmas dinner at school is like, it's an all-out event. My son was 10 at the time. Timon, my daughter, she was 8. They were mad with me, because they said to me, can't you phone the Queen? Tell her to change the day.
No problem. I've got her on speed dial. Give me a second.
But it was just a high honour, Raquel. But the honour was because I enjoyed what I was doing. I wasn't looking for notoriety or for any sense of gratification.
So much I want to continue asking you, Claudine, but the one thing I definitely want to find out and I want you to share with our viewers is, what is next for Claudine Reid MBE royalty? What can we expect?
I don't know if I can get away with the royalty.
You're royal and successfully black. You are royal.
What's next? Do you know my favourite author and mentor, John Maxwell? He says, dream loud, dream big, and dream in colour. And I think I've really just embraced the whole concept of dreaming bigger than myself, because I enjoy what I become in the process. I feel that when I dream big, it forces me to do things that I've not considered before, or not like I don't have the networks, so I have to create them. I'm not doing things because it's easy. I'm doing things because it's hard. But when I do things because it's hard, it's not that the situation gets easier, it's that I get stronger. I've kind of been focusing on developing a more of an international focus to what I do, in terms of developing communities outside of the UK. So my big focus at the moment is creating similar systems of how I've advised government in the UK, creating systems of how I can advise government outside of the UK. So I have a particular focus on the Caribbean and on South Africa at the moment. And I'm just kind of navigating my way around what that potentially looks like. And all of those things, again, just kind of links into my personal value system of supporting people outside of the UK. And I think after running a business for 25 years, I want to do something that is completely outside of what I'm used to.
And just as some sort of final little key point, as a director, a wife, a mother, how do you manage your time to ensure that you aren't spreading yourself too thinly?
Amazing question. Do you know, I think I've probably lost track of the amount of times I've had to really sit down and have this conversation with myself. I'm a little bit anal, Raquel, in that my diary is color-coded.
Love it already.
It's color-coded, and each area that I have responsibility for, I color-code it. Okay. So at a quick glance on a weekly basis, I can see where I've spent my time. I color code my family time, my immediate family time. I color code my extended family time, my business time, my other personal interests, my exercise, my prayer time.
Everything.
I have all these color codes because I think that I'm quite, in the same way people talk about budgeting their money. I budget my time because I feel that time is more important than money. I can get more money. If I lose it, I can get it back. I'm an entrepreneur. I know how to sell. I know how to create business. But you can't get more time back. And I'm quite a big stickler on not wasting my time and investing my time in things that bring me happiness and fulfillment.
Yes.
So I find balance because I'm quite meticulous with my time, but also because I have a team yes. of people, which means I don't have to do everything. So when we talk about time management and balance and being able to do so much, because I have a good team, and so I have domestic support at home, I have an amazing, amazing, amazing team of staff who work in my office. I only have one direct report. I can't speak to 85 staff every day. I only have one person who comes back to me to give me the quality assurance reports and all the things that I need to monitor as the director and person who has ultimate responsibility for the company, because I know that I've got able and qualified people who I trust. Let me say that again, people who I trust to run the business. And all the delicate things that I think are a bit sensitive, I've probably whittled those down to one or two things. So I spend my time no more than 2 hours a day. That then gives me the opportunity to do other things.
As the saying goes, teamwork does make the dream work. Not only do we want to obviously take all of this knowledge from you, Claudine, to help those who need the support and are going to value all of this rich information that you've given us, but we also want to shine the light on you and commemorate you for everything that you've done and all of your hard work. So please share with us your timeline of successes and your highlights. What are some of the highlights for you in your career journey so far?
Whoa, there have been many. Oh gosh. Going to Buckingham Palace has got to be a highlight, right? Because in that particular year, so in 2008, I'd gone to Buckingham Palace about 3 times. It almost became a joke in my household, like, where are you going? Oh, Buckingham Palace. I was invited to the Royal Garden Party. I was invited to a celebration of women's event, and then topped it off at the end of the year with the investiture ceremony for the MBE award. Another highlight was being able to successfully navigate my way out of 2 recessions.
Yes.
And the recession is the dip, right? It's the thing that says, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? Are we going to, do we need to lose staff? Do we need to change the business structure? Do we need to change the model? But the reason why it's a highlight is because in that process, I grew. And I could see where my growth was coming from. My growth was coming from my ability to think outside of the box. And I opted to keep my workforce and to trade our way out. So it meant that we had to work extra hours. And for some of those extra hours, it was pro bono. I was very open and honest with my staff. This is what we're going to do. But you have the option, right? I'm not backed them up against the wall. I've told them, this is what I can do. If you ride this out, we'll survive. If you can't ride it out, I fully understand.
Yeah.
But this is my disposition. I don't think that if my focus was on me and only what I could get out of the business relationship as it relates to employer-employee, if my focus was only on me, then I wouldn't have those people on my team. So Raquel, one of my greatest joys is to see other people progress. Because
Absolutely.
I believe that when other people progress, there is a ripple effect. That ripple effect is first and foremost on their own household, but also on their community. And if they have the capacity to see past their community, they can see to their city.
Yes.
The ripple effect impacts their city. If they can see past their city, the ripple effect impacts their country. If they can see past their country, the ripple effect impacts their continent. That's what drives me, seeing past all of those barriers and being able to get a seat around a table where my voice can be amplified, where my voice can then write policy that supports other entrepreneurs. The ruin of a nation starts in the homes of its people. I think if I'm able to better empower entrepreneurs, then the ripple effect of that will be felt in our communities.
Could not have said it better. Your core values, it's the foundation, it's your psyche, it's intrinsic feelings and thoughts. And with that said, how can people connect with you? You've mentioned that you do, you're a mentor as well. You have your support network. How can people connect with you?
My website is probably the easiest, claudinereid.com, but I am on all of the social media platforms, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, but my website is and YouTube.
And my last question for you today, Claudine, is as you know, the platform is Successfully Black, and we are speaking to people in the community of our culture who are successful in their own right, and success, as we know, is individual. So what does the term Successfully Black mean to you?
Whoa, the term Successfully Black means to me the realization, your ability or an individual's ability to realize a goal.
Once again, Claudine, thank you so much for joining me today on Successfully Black. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much, Raquel.
Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe to our channel and press that notification bell.